I'm sitting here today with Walter L. Davidson. The L stands for Lincoln. Walter was kind enough. We have a common friend in the VA. We won't mention names because I'm here unofficially, and thank you, Walter, for having me. Walter Davidson is a World War II vet and was kind enough to invite me into his home, and we're sitting here today. We're just going to have a conversation and talk about whatever comes up, but there's a few certain topics, obviously, the VA and your time in the service. But Walter, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and thank you for being here today.
Well, I'm Walter L. Davidson. The L stands for Lincoln. That goes back a long time. My father was born in 1860, right at the time Lincoln came into power. Well, some 25 or 30 years, I don't know just how many, maybe 40 years even. Before that, my grandfather was a friend of Lincoln's, and he knew Lincoln when they were young men.
Really?
And Lincoln was working in a grocery store, and my father, his two brothers used to hang around there. Not my father, excuse me, my grandfather. And these two brothers used to hang around there. They knew him real well. In fact, I had a letter written by a great niece or something, I believe it was, of one of his brothers to a stepsister I had in Washington State. And he was telling how he was a pretty big man. He was 6'6", and how he used to toss Lincoln up in the air. And when Lincoln would come down, he'd ask him how the weather was up there. When Lincoln worked at a grocery store to make a little extra money, why, he would pull teeth. He set up a chair outside of the grocery store where people would come in, and if they needed, somebody had a toothache, they didn't, no dentist to fill the teeth of those days. They didn't fill teeth, didn't do root canals or nothing. They just simply pulled them.
Abraham Lincoln pulled teeth.
Yes. That was probably in his early 20s, maybe not even 20. I'm not too sure about the age. But anyhow, as a result, he had difficulty pulling them, so he had the local smithy make him a pair of forceps. They're pretty crude looking, look like a little pair of pliers. And that's what he used. When he gave up pulling teeth and decided to go a different route, he went one direction. My grandfather went another way. They separated. But when he gave up there, well, he gave my grandfather those little forceps. And they have passed down from him to his father, which happened to be his son, my father, and on down to me. And I now have them. They're in a safe deposit box in a bank.
Oh, good.
I have no proof that he did them or anything else. I'm not looking for any proof. It don't make any difference to me. I'm not selling them or anything anyhow. I've got a little discrepancy where they're going to go from now, but that's another story.
Right.
But that's where the L comes from. When my father was born in 1860, well, he named him Walter Lincoln, and I'm Walter Lincoln. My son's Walter Lincoln.
Very nice. That's I never knew that about Abraham Lincoln. Thank you for telling me that. That was never. I mean, I knew some things about his young age, but never heard that story at all. Where were you born, and where'd you grow up, Walter?
Well, I grew up in the South Pacific.